Greetings of the day. In today's lecture of business finance, we will look towards the further concepts and the concerns related to the inventory management. We will start with the dangers of excess inventory. Whenever we are maintaining the inventory, we have to determine that there should not be any kind of excess inventory in the business, because there are certain danger situations when excess inventories are maintained by the businesses, or business has to suffer certain danger things due to maintaining excess inventory. The very first point which a business suffers by having excess inventory is unnecessary investment of funds. Remember one thing, the funds whatever business has, they are not their own funds, they are the mostly while running the business, they are the debt fund which the business has raised from either from the bank loan for the purpose of working capital or cash credit limit. All these kind of funds comes with certain cost, that is interest cost. Even if the funds are owned by the business, there is certain opportunity cost if we are utilizing that fund in maintaining excess inventory. So it is quite necessary to determine that there should not be any excess investment in the funds, because it would attract it would attract certain cost which is not necessary, and there is again the investment which is also not necessary. Second thing is that as the cost of the what we can say inventory rises due to the interest burden, similarly there would be reduction in the profit. Whenever there is rise in the cost, we all know that the profit of the business would reduce. That is why excess investment in inventory which is not necessary at that point of time would not only affect the investment pattern of the business but also reduce the profit of the business. That is, these are the two interrelated points. Now third point, when we are maintaining excess inventory, is loss of liquidity. When we speak of the liquidity, it means that the cash flow of the business or the cash generation of the business. Usually liquid assets are those assets which can be realized at any point of time in the business. Stock is one of the most liquid asset in the business, as it can be converted into cash form at any point of time by selling the stock in the market. But when we have an excess amount of inventory, it is quite difficult for a business to dilute whole inventory and generate liquidity which would be necessary for day-to-day operations of the business. At the same time, when we are making an unnecessary investment in the inventories, definitely our liquidity would hamper, our working capital would get affected, as the liquid working capital get transferred to the stock, and that would affect our day-to-day operation. That is the second issue which we would encounter when we have excess inventory with us. Fourth thing, increase in the holding cost. When we are having an excess inventory, apart from the interest burden, there are certain other costs which would increase, just like rent of the warehouse, insurance, supervisor's cost, transportation cost. All these costs are necessary for the purpose of maintaining the inventory. But when we are maintaining the excess inventory, we have to unnecessarily pay the rent of the warehouse, which can be what we can say deferred for the future. As the inventory was in limit, we would have a definitely small requirement of the warehouse, but when we have an excess inventory, the rent is also charged. Next thing is next cost is the insurance cost. Insurance is usually done by the businesses to protect against the future contingencies. But when we speak of the maintaining excess inventory, we have to get it insured, so that if any kind of loss happens in the future or any kind of contingent liability or contingent losses come in the future, it can be what we can say encountered properly. But excess inventory requires more insurance cover, which would increase the cost of the businesses. These are the certain holding costs which would increase by maintaining the excess inventory in the business. Next thing is the risk of the deterioration of the quality as well as quantity of the inventory. Remember one thing, whether the goods are perishable or not, there is always a risk of deterioration of the quality. Even though the products which are not perishable, which do not have any lifespan or lifetime, they also suffer the what we can say, limitation of deterioration of the quality. This affects the inventory level. At the same time, the quantity of the inventory may be also get deteriorated or affected due to the mishandling or improper storage facilities, which we usually see on the part of the public enterprises. When we see that there is improper storage facility, when we speak of the perishable goods like when we speak of the goods like which are like wheat, pulses, which are stored in the warehouses of the government at the time of what we can say rainy season, there is always news that these kind of goods are get deteriorated, they get wet, and they get what we can say they are not in the condition of use because of the improper storage facilities, where water gets submerged in the storage facilities or warehouses, and that has damaged the goods. That is why while maintaining inventory, we should determine that there are certain dangers when we are going beyond the limit of what we can say maintaining the inventory. These are the dangers associated with the excess inventory management, excess inventory holding. Now we will look towards what are the factors which affect the inventory level of the businesses. There are certain factors which determine what would be the inventory. What would be the inventory level of the business? The very first factor is the nature of business. Definitely, a nature of the business is important aspect which helps in determining the inventory level in the businesses. If suppose the nature of business is of service sector, definitely if suppose the business is having most of the transaction in the cash, the inventory level would be less. In case of FMCG goods, we all know that goods have very fast moving criteria. That is why they usually maintain the high level of inventory, and vice versa. Second thing is nature and type of the product or services. When we speak of the type of the product we can classify in simple two categories, that can be perishable and non-perishable. When we speak of perishable goods like vegetable fruits, definitely it would have very less inventory level as their life is limited. We can take an example of milk. Usually the shelf life of milk is very small. That is why there is not much inventory held by the shops due to this. That is what is the nature and type of product which determines the inventory level. When we speak of the perishable goods, as they have considerable more life, when we speak of non-perishable goods, as they have considerably more life, they can have good inventory level, or they can enjoy the high inventory level according to the demand and supply of the goods. Next is the market structure. Definitely market structure is an important criteria for determining the inventory level. When we speak of market structure, we have to determine what is the total market which is available to us for the purpose of the sale. First thing. Second thing, in that particular market, what is our share in which we are going to make the sales. So what is our market structure, or what is the statistics which is related with our market would determine what would be the inventory level. If suppose any business has very small market share, definitely the inventory level would be less as compared to the businesses which are enjoying high market share, would have to maintain high inventory level with them. Next is the inventory turnover. Whenever the inventory turnover ratio is low, that means that the stock clearance is very low, stock turnover ratio is very low. At that point of time, the inventory level the business has to maintain at very less level, because there is less turnover of inventory. Similarly, when it is high, the business has to maintain the high standards of the inventory, high level of inventory. Next is the economies of the production. When we say of economies of the production, it means that whenever we are maintaining the inventory, we have to, what we can say, determine that what would be the economies of the production. For example, if we are purchasing certain goods in bulk, we can receive a discount because of that bulk purchases. We can take an example. If suppose a product A, if we purchase in small quantity is available at rupees 100, but the seller has promised that if we purchase more than 500 units, then he would give you, the seller would give you an bulk discount of rupees 10% on the total purchases. It means that automatically that goods which was of 100 per unit would get reduced to the 90 per unit price, as we are purchasing the goods at bulk quantity. That would be known as economies of scale. When we speak of these economies which related to production and level of inventory management and level of inventory, we have to keep one thing in mind, that when we produce the goods at large quantity, definitely the raw material can be available with a bulk discount. At the same time, in the production process there are certain fixed as well as variable costs. The variable cost is always changing with the number of units, but when we speak of fixed cost, it would be same. For example, if suppose when we are producing 500 units per month, the fixed cost would be 50,000 for that particular unit, for that particular business. But if suppose that we are utilizing now 100% capacity, 100% capacity, this was at 50% capacity what we were producing. Now we were producing at 100% capacity. It means that we are producing 1000 units per month. Again, for this also the fixed cost would remain same. It would not change. That is what is the economies of production. The per unit cost will now reduce, because for 500 units it is 50,000. Now for 1000 units it is again 50,000. It means that we can enjoy the benefit of economies of production, as the raw material can be purchased in bulk. Definitely there would be bulk discount available to us, known as trade discount. Now when we are producing, we are utilizing our 100% capacity. It means that we are utilizing more capacity for the purpose of production. Definitely our cost of per unit would definitely decrease, as the fixed cost would remain same at any capacity to certain extent. That is what is economies of production, which is the factor which affects the inventory level. Next thing is the inventory related cost. There are certain inventory related costs which we have discussed. It can be its handling cost, it can be its ordering cost, then storing cost. All these kind of costs are also associated and affects the inventory level. Suppose that if inventory ordering cost is quite high, definitely the business would try to order a large quantity of goods in the one order. That is why it would help the business to reduce the ordering cost. At the same time, if suppose that the storage cost is high or holding cost is high, definitely business would try to maintain less amount of inventory, so that this kind of cost would be eliminated and it affects the inventory level. Then is the financial position of the business. Definitely the financial position of the business also affects the inventory level, as a business with strong financial level or strong financial position in the market can hold the large amount of stock as compared to the businesses which are unable to have the, what we can say, which are unable to have a strong financial position in the market. They are not able to hold the large quantity of inventory with them. That is what is associated with the financial position. Now we will look for the last point, which is factor that affects the inventory level, that is the period of operating cycle. Operating cycle can be described in a simple language is the conversion of raw material into the cash form by the process of production and selling of the finished goods. Diagrammatically we can say that we are having cash, we would place an order. By placing an order we would get our raw material. That raw material is converted into works in progress by means of production, that is again further produced, and we can have our finished goods which can be available for the purpose of sale. By selling these goods we create debtors and these debtors pay us the cash. That means that again we can have this cycle going on. That is why it is known as operating cycle. That is why it is known as operating cycle. Longer would be the duration of this operating cycle. Higher would be the level of inventory which we have to maintain, because of raw material which we have purchased is not usually converted into finished goods, and definitely when we have to maintain high level of inventory, it means that we have to incur a large amount of funds for the purpose of investment in this operating cycle. And shorter would be the duration of the operating cycle. Quick will be the realization of your debtors into the cash, and you can again repeat this cycle n number of times in the production duration. That is why it is also the period of operating cycle is also a criteria for determining the inventory level. As if suppose that a goods required to convert from raw material to its again cash position requires 70 days, it means that inventory level which the company has to maintain in the form of raw material, works in progress as well as finished goods would be definitely high as compared to the operating cycle which a business is of we can say 20 to 25 days, that as compared to that industry. That is all with the factors affecting the inventory level. Now we will move towards the which are the risks which associated with the inventory. The very first risk associated with maintaining the inventory of stock with us is the risk of price decline. The prices of the raw material, finished goods are always according to the market structure and the market tendency. These prices tend to move upward as well as downward also. But we have no problem when the prices of the material or the finished goods would rise. We have issue when there would be a price decline, and this price decline will definitely affect us. That is why the very first risk associated with the inventory is the price decline. This price decline usually hampers the profitability of the business. It reduces the cost of the finished goods, but again, as the raw material was purchased in the high prices, so business has to suffer the losses. Second is the product deterioration, whether it may be raw material or finished goods. If it is stored in the inventory form for the longer period, though your inventory is not in the criteria of excess inventory, but if it is not cleared as per the planned way, definitely there would be the risk of product deterioration. The quality of the material can be deteriorated. At the same time, the quantity can also be affected due to the mishandling or improper storage of that raw material. That is the again second risk of inventory. Third is the obsolescence. It might be possible that after a period of time, if inventory is not cleared from the storage and it is not sold, there would be a problem that these finished goods may turn the obsolete goods. It may occur usually in the what we can say, it usually happens in the industry which is associated usually with the fashion, that the stock when it becomes out of fashion, it suffers the problem of sales, and at that point of time that stock can be turned into dead stock, which is an loss for the business, which would not generate any profit for the business. In fact, it would go for the loss of the business. At the same time, we have certain holding or carrying costs which we have to go for that dead stock, that is the obsolete risk. These are the three risks which is associated with the inventory. And lastly for today, the cost of inventory. There are certain costs which are associated with the inventory. The very first cost which would be there would be the ordering cost. For the purpose of order, what we have to do, we have to first of all find out an supplier, then after getting that we have to get the quotation, then we have to send invoices, and after that for this whole procedure we have to what we can say deploy or appoint 2 to 3 persons who have to contribute their time or who have to spare their time for this purpose. And at the same time, if there is certain middleman or agent in between, we have to pay brokerage or commission charges to them. That is what is related with the ordering cost, the very first inventory cost. Second would be holding or carrying cost. It means that we have to first of all transport that goods to us, and at the same time there is the criteria of checking the quality of the goods, checking the quantity of the goods, which are as per the conditions laid down for the purpose of the which are laid down at the time of the order. For that purpose again we have to devote our time, that is known as holding or carrying cost, which is related with the cost of inventory. Last one is the storage cost. It means that when the goods is ordered and we have received the goods, we have to store it in the warehouses of the company, where we have to look after the cost like rent, interest on the capital, as the funds are being invested in the inventory, and there is an cost known as interest on capital for that, the investment in inventory. Then we have to get it insured, we have to appoint an person who will supervise the stock properly. These are the three costs which are associated with the inventory cost. This was in this video what we have seen, what is excess inventory, which is maintained beyond the level of optimum level of inventory, and what are the dangers of maintaining the excess inventory with the business. Second thing what we have seen, what are the various factors which affect the inventory level. Then we have seen what are the inventory related risks. We have discussed there are three inventory related risks. The very first can be the decline in the prices, second can be deterioration of the product, and third can be the obsolescence risk. Last one is the inventory cost. There are three costs associated with the inventory. First one is ordering cost, second one is holding or carrying cost, and the third one is the storage cost. In the next video we will move further in the same unit. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.